Welcome to positive reinforcement. Positive reinforcement is generally the most effective way of dealing with challenging behaviors and teaching children new skills, especially if your little one is showing the signs of autism or has been screened and identified as at risk. When we hear about positive reinforcement, most of us think of it as being nice, positive, and supportive. But when we talk about positive reinforcement for teaching children, it has a very specific meaning that goes beyond being nice and encouraging. When helping children with developmental delays, like autism, the use of positive reinforcement after a child does an action, like touching a new food, means giving a positive consequence, like clapping or saying "great job." The idea is that positive reinforcement will increase your child's motivation to learn and to repeat the behaviors that you want in your child. Positive reinforcement is a scientific law. Years of scientific research in psychology have proven that positive reinforcement increases desired behavior. In the case of a child with learning delays, if they're asked to touch a new food and then they touch it, they should immediately receive a positive reinforcer, like a treat or other consequence that they like. This will result in the child touching new foods more often when you ask them to. Once a child can consistently touch one new food, she can be asked to touch other new foods, which is a step on the path to expanding food options. Slowly, you can build up the child's set of skills and abilities. Now, I understand that when your child misbehaves, positive reinforcement might be the last thing on your mind. Positive reinforcement can be one of the most effective ways to teach your child to change their habits and do things differently. You can use positive reinforcement to encourage the correct behaviors, like cleaning up or reducing tantrums. For teachers and therapists, positive reinforcement is one of their best tools. Scientific research has shown that it is effective for teaching children new skills, and it has the best long-term results. It takes patience, but you can and should use positive reinforcement with your child. Positive reinforcement is especially important for children experiencing delays because they may not even understand how or why punishment is connected to their behavior, and they may not understand what it is that you want them to do. Positive reinforcement really works, and it's the best way to help your child. You'll learn more about using positive reinforcement in this section.
Reinforcement is an incentive for your child to comply with a request or instruction or to engage in all the appropriate behaviors. You should use reinforcement as much as possible and avoid using punishment because it doesn't teach your child what to do, and it also has several negative side effects. The goal of using reinforcement is to increase the chances that your child will continue to engage in appropriate behaviors. For example, when you praise your child or give them something they like after they comply with an instruction, they will be more likely to do what's asked. Here is an example of how I teach children to change their behavior using positive reinforcement.
Squirt, squirt, squirt.
Oh, wow. Can I have some?
Squirt.
Oh, thank you. Yum, 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 yum.
Pretend we cut it up.
Oh. Yeah? Okay. Like this? Like a... Oh.
In little
Chop.
pieces.
Okay, we chop them. And then we get some
All the hot sauce, then
Mm.
put it on here.
Yummy. Do you want some?
Sure.
Can I have some? Yummy.
Guess what's for dessert?
Oh, no! That looks yummy.
Just
though.
pretend it's a cake
Oh.
with a smiley
That
face
really
on
looks like
it.
a cake, though.
A cake with smiley faces and eyes.
Can I have a slice?
The eyes are the frosting. And the hot sauce.
A hot sauce this cake?
Tastes
good. Is that good? Okay, I need to try. That's really good. You're right. You gonna eat some? Okay, guess what? It's time to clean up. Wow, I really like how you're cleaning up. Yay! Give me a high five. Awesome. Look what I have for you. Because you did so well with cleanup. Good job.
Cynthia is working with Asia using positive reinforcement. Let's see how she's doing.
Okay. If you give me the phone, I'll give you the pretzels. Okay, you can have them. It's fine, never mind.
Cynthia is learning how to use reinforcement with her daughter. It takes patience and a lot of practice. When working with Asia in the future, some things Cynthia will want to do differently include: 1. She needs to reinforce the behavior that she wants to increase. 2. Susan should not give the pretzel to her child unless the child complies. 3. If her child doesn't comply, Susan should help her complete the requested task. Let's see how they're doing after a few weeks of practice.
Ayala, if you give me the phone, I'll give you the pretzels. Can I have the phone? Thank you.
Remember, learning to use reinforcement takes practice and time. So don't expect to always get it right. Accept that mistakes will happen and it will take time for your child to learn the skills. Cynthia and Asia have been working on this. Notice how Cynthia gave the pretzel only after her child complied with the instruction. We want to use reinforcement as much as possible throughout the day whenever you see your child doing something that's appropriate. Basically, we want to reinforce behaviors that we want to increase.